Gold Coast Surfers Paradise is beautiful in Queensland, Australia, and take my time out to relax after a week's hard work in the office. It's always good to go out and have a deep break after the hectic week and the family matters and all that. And I'm always glad to go out and have a look at the ocean, beach, people, and it's so wonderful. It's so nice. It's so different, and it is a good feeling. It is always good and refreshed if you take a walk out from the house. If you have trouble or problems and something very hard or difficult issues to solve, and well, probably you can never solve it. So the way out to solve it is to get rid of all this mindset and just go out and have a walk around the beach or rainforest. And today I'm happy that I choose to walk around the ocean, and I instantly feel that my trouble has lifted, and my mind is lifted to a higher level where I feel that I no longer have to worry about all the problems and issues like relationship, what my husband did and my ex-husband did, and all that. The matter of separation, whether to separate or move out, and and so much thought in my mind, and I don't know the future, what the future will hold. So at the moment I'm just enjoying myself, and it is always a good way to get out of your difficult problems or issues in your mind, and just get out and relax yourself, look at the ocean and listen to the birds and the oceans, sound of the sea, sound of the water, and the sound of the people talking and walking on the sand, the sound of your feet interact with the sand and rubbing on the sand, and all these feels so much better. It's so much like relief, and it's sort of like the instant help with the problem solving, and perhaps probably temporary, but if you go out, if you do it every day, I'm sure that our problem will be solved. Now this is such a beautiful part of Queensland, Australia. It's always very famous, I think, very popular beach in Gold Coast, Australia, and you can see the beautiful high-rise building around here as well. It's amazing. When the water crash into the shore and washing over the feet, you feel that kind of refreshment and gratitude. Wow, feel great. Well, I was studying in University of Newcastle, and I met a group of people. They are so committed to God. I mean, they're church people. They are so good, and they brought me to a church, Pentecostal church, and that was where I found myself. I found that life doesn't mean that you have to be how do I say? You don't have to be bound by certain limit. So I found that in joining that church group, I found that actually in life is so much freedom. You don't have to be bound by culture. You don't have to be bound by anything like other people's opinion, and also you don't have to be bound by anything. It is all about yourself, and it is all about God. And that is where I found myself, that I found the freedom. God has given us so much freedom, and I just have a sort of like a kind of enlightenment while I was studying in University of Newcastle. I don't know. At that young age, around 21, 22, something like that, and I found that it's just at that stage when I recall, at that stage that I realized that, you know, you can do what you want. You don't have to be bound by your parents' restriction. You know, you have all the freedom now. I found that, you know, I never have that kind of feeling before, and I never feel that I have so much freedom. While in Australia, of course, it's a free country, free choice country, and freedom country, so much different from Malaysia. And at first, it's sort of like I don't know how to describe that kind of feeling. I feel that I'm so much free, and I see ocean, just like I'm seeing now, the oceans, the beautiful sunset, the beautiful seabirds around. And I remember I was having a group outing with a whole group of friends out on the beach, and I felt so much like when I look at the seawater splashing onto the shore and feel that myself is one of them. I can sort of just like rushing into some sort of like happiness, and I just have that kind of feeling that I can tell you now while I'm on the beach today. And that kind of feeling just made me feel like, wow, this is such a beautiful world, and you can do anything you like, and life is so short. Why don't you enjoy it, you know? Unfortunately, at that time, you know, I have found that kind of freedom and get that kind of enlightenment. The concentration is in my study is not that intense, and I sort of like have so much socialization with so many friends from other countries internationally, and also I have like realization that life is not all about study. It's all about so many such a big spectrum. Life is about such a big spectrum. You have life outside study, life outside you know, family and parents, siblings. It's so much better. It's so wonderful feeling. I don't know how to describe it. I can only feel that kind of feeling. I never had that kind of feeling while I was in Malaysia, and yeah. And now I'm so get used to it, and then sort of kind of like to have a little bit of boundary from what I have. I feel that kind of freedom. Then I realized that when I went back to Malaysia 3 years ago, and I cannot stay anymore that kind of life because I have changed. Since I have such a long time living in a country like Australia, so beautiful, so freedom for 30 or so years, I cannot go back to what I was like in Malaysia anymore. But I still sort of like reflect back my childhood country, my childhood life, and I still sort of like have thinking of that happiness moment with the family, with all the beautiful streets and beautiful nice food that I had when I was a child before I came to Australia. But I still like in every source of life you need to think positively, think the positive aspect of life, and then you feel better, you feel so much better. And you know, you have to think about the creators, what creators want us to do about the life in the earth. You have to think of the creator, why he created this beautiful world for us to live in. So it's up to you whether you can find life interesting, and whether you can approach life positively or negatively. And I just have to say that life is so short, and that we have to treasure our life and live positively, and then we will not sort of like question our creator ambitious for us in order to live in his beautiful creation, and that's all I want to say. Life is just like the boat. You see the small boat just far away on the horizon, and steering against the wave, and keep going further and further. And life is just like that. We have to strive against the current, and also fight against the obstacles that come towards us, and you go to the end and you achieve the goal. And then you can see the I don't know if you the time of sunrise and the time of sunset remind you the same thing happen again all over every day. And why the sun never get bored of rising up from the horizon and then setting down to the horizon. This reminds us that we have to learn from the sun, that we are never bored of our life, never bored of the wonderful things happen to our life, even we follow routinely about whatever we need to do in a day, and never get bored, because the sun rising up, as it rises up, he can see all happening around him. And when he high up on the sky, the sun he can see people in the world on the ground, what they're doing, and he will smile and or laugh or high up on the sky and see, oh, that person is funny, that person is, what's that person doing? And we wish that we are like the sun every day, routinely rise from the horizon and set to the horizon, and still happily doing the job, the same job every day. Are you like this? Are you like the sun? We all have to learn from the sun. Something for you. Very sad. Sometimes we say we are so busy. How can we have time for ourselves? How can we time for you, for me, just me and myself, or you or yourself? But people realize that always a simple thing. It is actually the most important thing. Which is to get up early in the morning. Yeah, I know that myself. I have to get used to practice that too. Occasionally, I can do it, but sometimes I have to force myself to get up and do meditation and do all these things to ensure that my days go smoothly. And it is hard. It is true that it is easy to say than done. So that's why even me, I have to practice like how to be patient, to train myself to be a person who are truly happy, truly know myself, and then truly having a good relationship with other people. It takes time, it takes courage, it takes bravery, and it takes time to take out the habit of meditation as well, to take out the habit of knowing yourself, being yourself, and knowing that truly knowing yourself is the most important thing. Although it doesn't look important, but it is very important, I tell you. Whenever you are in a state of like fuzziness, your head is fuzzy, and you don't know what you want to do, and even the same as me as well, and you have to find a way out. Isolated yourself on the cloud, isolated yourself on work, during the break, isolated yourself and love yourself, eat well, and being in a place where you can find the quietness. Find yourself being quiet, and then start reflecting what you've done in the past few hours, past few days, or past day, and you can sort of put yourself together again, and no more messy and fussiness in the head. It's easy. You don't have to take medicine. Of course, we need to take medicine sometimes in some situation, like away in a home where you cannot find a place where you can be quiet. Then in the extreme cases, you might have a headache or you might have a fussiness. You can take Panadol, but you can get up. Just get up. It is the best medicine to put yourself together, being by yourself, isolated yourself from the crowd, from people, and this is a secret of survival. All these people, I truly admire them, the Australian people, and the people in the world who knows how to enjoy themselves, how to really cherish life and find happiness being with the nature and associate with nature, detach themselves from daily life, detach themselves from associate with interaction with people in the crowd, and making themselves way into nature and relax your mind. This is a very good method, a very good way of having a mental healthiness. And look at the ocean. I'm going to take you to the same place as last week I went. It's such a beautiful lighthouse there, not far from where I am now. I'm taking you back to the last week where I was. I decided to come here every week. It's such a beautiful and relaxing place, and so beautiful the scenery. And I decided to come back every week. It's just do me good, and I can refresh myself here. I'll show you. Today is the same as last week, but the sun is a bit brighter than last week, but it's still equivalent good and beautiful. It's such a pleasant walk from here to the lighthouse. I'm approaching lighthouse very soon. That's towards the end of the speech, and truly enjoy it. It's like doing every weekend's morning walk. It's such a great walk. And listen to the wave crashing over the shore. As you can see the background, so beautiful. Yeah, there I am.